We're going to finish this bill before we leave. We're going to deal with FISA, and we're going to deal with highways. There's a path forward if people want to take it that could complete all of this work at a reasonable time, probably sometime tomorrow. Or we can make it difficult, but the end won't change. And so I would just encourage at least some level of cooperation here, because we're doing TPA, we're doing FISA, and we're doing highways. I yield the floor.
He has been delaying this. He said last week when they got the authorization to move ahead in the process that they were going to pass this week. He waited to the very end of the week because, of course, that takes it out of the news cycle. We've also seen a document dump from Hillary Clinton today as well. But here's the concern. They did not pass the Trans-Pacific Partnership yet. They did not pass the TTIP, the Transatlantic Partnership yet. This is going to give authorization for 6 years to fast-track trade processes, to secret negotiations just like we've seen. Okay, we should call this Obama trade, and we should understand that the Republicans are full on board with this. They always run this through when there's a Democrat as president, just like they did with NAFTA and Bill Clinton. They know that the camp followers of the Democrats, many of them, will just follow blindly behind their leader, even though this is going to be a massive export of jobs. It's not going to be a free trade agreement whatsoever, and of course, that's the way they get the GOP. The GOP will line up behind their leadership thinking or telling the mainstream people, the people who follow them, that this is about free trade. Therefore, it's about good business. It's not about that. This is managed trade. Now, much has been said about what's going to happen with these trade agreements, which are really treaties. That's the other big lie. That's something that Obama did to run through Obamacare. They called it a tax instead of an individual mandate in order to get it through the Supreme Court. They're calling this an agreement. They're calling it a partnership. So they can run this through and pretend that it's not a treaty. Listen, any agreement, by definition, a treaty is an agreement between one or more nations that affects peace, commerce, or other national, international issues. This is a treaty. It should require 67 votes in the Senate, but instead they're going to get only 51 to pass it. That's what this is really about. But it goes far beyond that. Let me read you some of the stuff that's going on with this Trade Promotion Authority. This is from their own documents explaining it. They're going to have 45 days whenever one of these agreements is presented to them, 45 days to bring it to the floor, to run it through the normal process of going through committees, to be vetted by the majority leaders. If they don't recommend this to be voted on the floor, it will automatically go to the floor. That's the default. So they're removing all the things that might block it or even slow it down. Once it gets to the floor, they're going to only have 20 hours to debate it. No amendments, no dilatory motions, they say. Nothing that's going to stop it. So they can't amend anything, and they have limited debate at that point. They're going to shut down filibusters in the Senate. To sum it up, this is what they say. The procedures, the expedited procedures, and you know what? When they talk about this being expedited procedures, this is really, they ought to call it Federal Express next day delivery, because that's precisely what this is. Everything has been rigged to make sure that this is going to go through immediately without any alteration, without any opposition, without any discussion. See, this is not just secret for the public to see. This is without any discussion or change whatsoever, just ramming this through. They said 3 key elements, of course. That is a mechanism to ensure timely floor consideration. They're going to ram this thing through. Then they want to limit debate, and they're going to prohibit amendments. Anybody who voted for this in the Senate, anybody who votes for this in the House, is voting to shut down our Republican process. Our Democratic Republic has a process where we have leaders that we elect. They have an open discussion of this thing. This is what they're shutting down, because this is another step to world government. Combining these different regional trading groups, they always do this as a trade agreement. Now they're working on the sovereignty aspects. They are now unifying North America with Europe, unifying North America with Asia. That's what's behind this, and there's going to be a lot more of this coming down the pike. One last thing, Jakari. Today they had an amendment by some Democrats, and it was shut down by Orrin Hatch. The amendment offered by the Democrats was to show us what this Trans-Pacific Partnership is going to be. Show the public what this agreement is going to be. Orrin Hatch shut it down. And this is what he had to say. He said, I don't know what's in the TPP myself. So in other words,
we have to pass it.
We have to pass
it.
Exactly. They're doing the same thing, except this time it's the Republicans working with Obama instead of the Democrats working with Obama. Have to pass it, see what's in it. He says, I'm curious to see what's in it myself. I'm going to be one of the most interested people on earth when it comes. If not the most interested, when they finally agree.
Yeah.
Look, this deal is done. They're ready to put it on the floor. They're going to demand an expedited, overnight Federal Express vote. And that's precisely what they're going to get. And if he wanted to see what was in this, Jakari, he could have walked down and taken a look at it. There's only been 2 or 3 senators who've even bothered to do that. 98% of them could care less because they've been given their marching orders by their multinational corporate masters to get this thing done. That's the bottom line. Absolute total hypocrisy and selling us out. That's what it's really about. We've got one more chance, and it's a slim chance. But here's the only good news, Jakari. The fact that they would feel that they have to do this over a Memorial Day weekend because they're afraid of the public paying attention to what they're doing. We can shut this down if people will pay attention, if they'll wake up to the fact that this is not about free trade. This isn't even primarily about losing jobs. This is far broader than that. This is about ownership of everything. This is about who is going to be in charge of government. So whether it's going to be multinational corporations with their investor-state relationships, elevating themselves to the level of the sovereign governments, or whether we're going to go the other way and give people more power. If you get involved, if you pay attention, you can shut this down. Just as we were talking about earlier today, we could shut down the war on Syria. We could expose ISIS as being a tool, a creation of Western intelligence. We can affect things if you will pay attention, if you will call these people and put pressure on them. We're going to have one more opportunity to do this, but now that they've passed this TPA, it's going to be very difficult to stop this and future agreements.
And not just the TPA, but also the Patriot Act as well. They're trying to ram all this stuff through holiday weekend.
Weekend.
You guys have to get active. You have to get out there. You have to get on the phone. I know it's the late hour and you may not get anything but a voicemail, but at least call these people up, even if it's after the fact. Say, hey, I saw what you did. I do not appreciate that. You will be out of office if you ever do something like this again.
And once they bring this secretly negotiated TPP to the table, there will be 2 weeks for the public to see what's in it. There will be no amendments. There'll be very little debate about it, but you can still put pressure on your representatives on that final up or down vote. And that's what we really have to do. We have to have a full court press to get everybody to grab them by the back of the neck, melt their phone lines about this, because that still works. That's why they're doing this. I'm very cynical about the electoral process, as you probably are as well, but that's why they're doing this on a holiday weekend. They are still afraid of public awareness.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's the key.
All right, thank you, David. But whether it's this or something else, you have to stay vigilant and not forget that all these things are coming. If they fail on this, they'll repackage it, send it out there, and have something brand new by the end of the month. So you have to stay vigilant. And I hope you enjoy your holiday weekend. But
chill, bro. Your boy is attacking me. Watch out. You're clowns. Watch out. Just grab the mic again. Look at these clowns. We're just assaulted. Get the cops. Get the cops.
Why are you so worried about a zygote? And ultimately, your sympathies do not lie with black people. They lie with your racist, white, middle-class agenda, and that's where it will always lie, and you will be destroyed holding that line.
Okay, I adopted 2 children.
Oh, good for you, white savior. Aren't you so proud?
They're not white. He's
exactly, he's not white. Exactly, you're a white savior. You think that it is the white man's duty to fix everybody's problems, right?
How many did you adopt?
How many did I adopt? I kill my kids. How many did I adopt? I kill my kids.
I kill my kids.
Little babies, I pay for that.
something?
I pay all my money for that. I get free abortions on demand without apology.
You are wicked as hell.
And I'm going to hell. Yeah, I still pay to kill babies, though.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
How do you get your abortions paid for?
I pay for them.
I thought you said
How many
free.
do you pay for?
Upwards of 50.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, you must make
I raise money from the community for it.
Oh, you don't use your money? You multiply your efforts, huh?
Well, we're down here pointing out that all Black lives matter, all lives matter, and that the very people who want to literally wipe out Black Americans through Planned Parenthood on record are the ones trying to create this whole race war and garbage off some of these tragedies. So we're pointing out the real organized genocide with the documented proof. We're talking to a lot of great folks. Sir, give us your take on all this.
Yeah, I think that if we're going to continue forward as a country, then we need to...
Excuse us! Fight us! Excuse us! Fight us! Excuse us!
Chill. Chill.
All right, we're just assaulted. Get the cops. Get the cops. That guy, we got the witness. He's coming at me again right now. Go ahead and push me one more time. Go ahead. Move away from the street, man. You're going to get hurt. Move away from the street.
Bro, you got to chill, bro. Your boy is attacking me. Come on.
Let him go.
Another minion attacking.
Get out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Don't touch me. Your God's fallen.
Hey, we had you guys on video.
Your God's fallen. You're weak. Your God's weak.
Look at these clowns. Watch out. You're clowns. Watch out.
Just grab the mic again.
Look at these clowns.
Hey. He took the mic. Go get the footage.
Hey, don't beat him up. Yeah, we're trying to get these guys out of their parking lot.
Yeah, you guys got a lot of feet. Show this.
We're trying to get out of their parking lot.
Yeah, we got out of your parking lot. Hey, brother, we just got assaulted. We're just getting some evidence. Let's get out of the crowd. All right, here you go. Get it. People ask me why I'm a Christian, why I talk about God. I don't mean these fake churches. I face the New World Order over and over again. They're all devil worshippers. Yeah! We know who they are, and we're sick of them.
You've been ousted.
We're sick of you hurting children, you filth.
We see you.
We see you, and humanity's rising. You sit there and him pick us and tell us to submit. We'll never submit to you, and humanity's rising.
She was the founder of the American Birth Control League and the publisher of its newsletter, The Birth Control Review. On a practical level, the relationship between Sanger and these elitists was basically a marriage of convenience. The result was that the American Birth Control League became the driving force behind the American eugenics movement. Eugenics would no longer just be a philosophy. Sanger and others like her were going to put it into practice.
We are paying for and even submitting to the dictates of an ever-increasing, unceasingly spawning class of human beings who never should have been born at all. Margaret Sanger, 1922.
I have heart here. I don't wear children. I love Satan.
Say that again. Who do you love? Oh, my God.
I love Satan, so f*** you.
And you're not Stalin supporters?
I can't. No, I'm not. I'm a anarchist, sir.
Where do you get these thoughts from?
Hold on, so there's not a Facebook with you saying you love Stalin?
Off of me. Go away.
I'm just asking. I don't know.
Go away. Go away.
How many did I adopt? I kill my kids. Ultimately, your sympathies do not lie with black people. They lie with your racist white middle class agenda, and that's where it will always lie, and you will be destroyed holding that line.
It needs to be smacked. Capitalism is needs to be smacked. You own that label. You are a misogynist. You are a misogynist. Oh my God, look at my women.
Wait a minute, you marching a Black Lives Matter thing with a hammer and sickle? Is that you? We're just asking.
Are you hearing that? Are you talking to the voice?
No, we're just asking you. That's your Facebook. You got it on TV right now.
Really impressive, the alien. That is to you. That's really impressive.
Hey, man, it's just lizard
You're something else. Lizard people. I've never met an alien before. What's it like? Which planet? What do they sound like?
Schizophrenia is serious, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You should
You gotta
probably
watch
take.
out for the voices in your way.
Anyways, do you have any language skills?